Screens got all over the world. I'm interviewing Councillor Mark Logan, and Mark, could you carry on, please?
Well, we're still in Havering House, a hostel for homeless people. We're here with Emma, who's kindly agreed to be interviewed. She's another homeless person living in this abysmal hostel, which is not fit to keep animals in, to be perfectly honest. But going back to you, Emma, you told me earlier that you were in this hostel once before and they offered you a dwelling in the London Borough of Newham, which is a considerable way from Havering. You've been bred and born in Havering all your life, and they put you into Newham. I don't understand the reasons why, because you've got no friends or family in Newham. You've been actually bred and born in the London Borough of Havering. How do you feel that as a homeless person they more or less forced you to go to Stratford? Was that correct?
Oh, that's in Stratford.
In Stratford. Could you explain how you feel about being moved into an area where you had no family ties, no friends?
At the time, as I said before, I really didn't know any different. When I was offered a place in Stratford, obviously I did accept it. I don't have no family and no friends, but I believe it was a quick way to move out of this
just a
hostel.
quick fix, really. Yeah, a quick fix. And
looking back, it was one of the probably biggest mistakes that I've made, moving to Stratford.
One of the reasons you find yourself back in this hostel is because you fled domestic violence.
Yeah.
You had a very violent partner, you've got a crime reference, you've got photographs, etc.
Yep,
And that's the reason for coming back. And you're hoping that you're going to be assessed and that this London Borough of Havering will find that they have a duty to rehouse you, which I, as your elected councillor, also hope that they do find it within their hearts to offer you a place in this borough and find that they have a duty to you. But if the worst scenario, they did say to you, well, we feel that we don't have a duty to rehouse you, how would you feel if that position arose after the assessment?
I really wouldn't know what I would do, where I'd go from that decision. I'm not sure. I wouldn't know.
So you could find yourself, shoehorned into the streets, really. The 21st century, people are actually, this government is responsible for removing people like yourself out of mundane places like this and forcing you onto the streets. And you've also got some health issues that you rose with us. I just find
it has been on my mind. It has been in the back of my mind that one day I would probably end up homeless, not even being able to stay in the hostel, probably living on the streets or somewhere.
It's quite an easy thing to cure, I believe so, as a BNP councillor, because I'm fully aware of the money that's been siphoned off from council rents by central government. The council don't actually get to keep all the rents, and if they were allowed to keep the rents, they could actually build more council homes for people in your position. Is there anything you'd like to say to Mr Brown, the MP, over the money that's been siphoned off? They've actually, it's quite strong terms, but I would say they've actually stolen from councils since Labour came into power over £26 billion, which could have been invested into council homes. Is there anything you'd like to say to Mr Brown to perhaps persuade him to allow councils to start allow councils to keep the money and build more homes for people in your predicament.
Yeah, well, I believe that he probably really needs to experience some of the problems that homeless people are having to deal with every day, to, as you say, put the money and spend it on the things that we actually really do need.
Yeah, you know, an Englishman's home is his castle, and a woman, come to that. You know, you can't start building to the future until you've got a base to build from, and the base is your home.
He's never really experienced what it's like to be homeless, what it's like to not have no money for food, for travel, for any personal items that you might need. He's never experienced it, and
people who live in glass houses shouldn't be throwing stones, really. You know, he needs to come down to the cold face and witness what's going on, especially in my particular borough, in my ward. And I've already mentioned in the other interviews with two of the other constituents, I challenge Mr Brown to come to Havering, witness for himself exactly what's going on in Havering. We've got just under 5,000 people on council housing waiting lists. There's 1.6 million people on council housing waiting lists across the UK, and it's one of the major issues that needs to be addressed at this moment in time. And it just seems to me to be swept under the carpet. So, Mr Brown, you know, once again, come along to Havering and witness what my constituents are having to go through. These are prisons. They're not hostels. They're prisons where you're keeping my constituents, and I do not like what you're doing. Give us back the money that you've siphoned off over the past 12 years. We want our money back. Because, Mr Brown, you're the tax party. You have taken £1.5 billion in taxes, not every year, every week. Council tax has risen in the UK since you've been in power. Nationally, it's 86%. It's risen by, although some boroughs it's risen by over 100%. Stop taxing and start caring, and start looking after my constituents.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark. Thanks very much for the interview.
thank you very much.